All right, so here's a review for the quiz on solving 1 and 2-step equations. Taking a look at number 1, it says b minus 30 equals negative 41. We want to isolate the variable b on the left side of this equation, but negative 30 is also on the left side, so we need to get rid of it. To get rid of negative 30, we're going to add 30. And whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. So now, on the left side of this equation, negative 30 and positive 30 cancel each other out, leaving us with b. And on the right side of this equation, we have negative 41 plus 30. This is negative, this is positive, so we follow the different sign rule. Different signs subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. 41 minus 30 is 11, and since 41 is bigger than 30, we keep the negative sign. So our answer is b equals negative 11. All right, now looking at number 2, we have 15.6 equals x plus 21.5. So we want to isolate x on the right side, and we have positive 21.5 that we need to get rid of. So to get rid of positive 21.5, we're going to subtract 21.5 from both sides of the equation. On the right, these cancel out, leaving us with x. And on the left, 15.6 minus 21.5 is negative 5.9, because these are different signs, so we subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So our answer is x equals negative 5.9. All right, so let's take a look at number 3. We have n minus 4/5 equals negative 62 over 15. In order to isolate n, we need to get rid of this negative 4/5. So we're going to have to add 4/5 to both sides of this equation. Now on the left, the 4/5 cancel each other out, leaving us with n. And on the right, in order to add or subtract fractions, we need common denominators. We have 15 and 5, so it's going to be 15. That means this fraction is going to remain as negative 62 over 15, and this fraction is going to become positive something over 15. 5 times 3 is 15, so now on the top we do 4 times 3, and that gives us 12. Now we have a negative fraction and a positive fraction, so different sign, subtract, keep the sign of the bigger number. So 62 minus 12 is 50, so we get n equals negative 50 over 15. Now the only issue with this answer is that it is not in simplest form. So we can simplify by dividing both parts of this fraction by 5, and that gives us our answer in simplest form, which is n equals negative 10 over 3. So that is our correct answer. All right, looking at number 4, we have negative 5/3 p equals 70 over 27. In order to isolate p, we need to get rid of this negative 5/3, which is multiplying p. So how do we undo multiplication by a fraction? We are going to flip and multiply. That means we're going to take the reciprocal of this negative 5/3 and multiply both sides by that number. So the reciprocal of negative 5/3 is negative 3 over 5. And that's what we're going to multiply by on both sides. On the left, these two cancel each other out, leaving us with p. And on the right, we can do some simplifying here. 3 and 27 can be divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 27 divided by 3 is 9. And 5 and 70 can be divided by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 70 divided by 5 is 14. So now we have 14 times negative 1, that's negative 14, and 9 times 1 is 9. And here's our answer. P equals negative 14 over 9, and this is already in simplest form. All right, next we have number 5. Negative 59 equals negative 4a minus 3. This is a two-step equation because we have two things that we need to do in order to isolate our variable a on the right side. We need to get rid of negative 4 and negative 3. The proper order to do this is to first undo addition or subtraction. Now this might be confusing because we have this negative 4 and this negative 3. Some students might confuse this negative 4 as being a minus 4 and think they need to add 4 to both sides. But that's not the case. And the way we can tell is that this negative 4 is right next to a, and that means that's multiplication. So actually, the subtraction we need to get rid of here is this negative 3. So in order to get rid of negative 3, we are going to add 3 to both sides. On the left side, negative 59 plus 3, different signs subtract, and keep the sign of the bigger number. That becomes negative 56. And on the right, these cancel out, leaving us with negative 4a. Now, in order to get a alone, we need to get rid of this negative 4, which is multiplying a. And in order to do that, we're going to divide both sides of the equation by negative 4. On the right, these cancel out, leaving us with a. And on the left, negative 56 divided by negative 4 is positive 14. So that's our answer. Moving on to number 6. We have 3 equals m minus 4 over 5. Another two-step equation, except usually when we solve a two-step equation, our first step is to undo addition or subtraction. However, in this problem, the minus 4 is part of the numerator of this fraction, so we cannot get rid of this negative 4 first. We need to undo this fraction. Now, why is this a fraction? It's a fraction because m minus 4 is being divided by 5. So the way we undo this fraction is by getting rid of this 5. How do we undo division by 5? We multiply by 5. So we're going to multiply both sides of this equation by 5. On the right side, these 5's cancel each other out, leaving us with m minus 4. And on the left, 5 times 3 is 15. So now we have 15 equals m minus 4, and all we got to do is get rid of this negative 4. So now we're going to add 4 to both sides. On the right, these cancel out, leaving us with m, and on the left, 15 plus 4 is 19. So our answer is m equals 19. All right, now time for our last two questions. Number 7. 4.6 plus n over 5 equals 6.98. In order to get n alone, we need to get rid of this 4.6 and this 5. First, we're going to undo addition or subtraction, which means we need to get rid of this positive 4.6. So we are going to subtract 4.6 from both sides. On the left, these cancel out, leaving us with n over 5. And on the right, 6.98 minus 4.6 equals 2.38. Now we need to get rid of this 5, and this 5 is dividing n. n is being divided by 5. So in order to undo division by 5, we need to multiply both sides by 5. On the left, the 5's cancel out, leaving us with n. And on the right, 2.38 times 5 equals 11.9. So that's our answer. All right, last problem. We have 5.4 minus 5.1n equals negative 53.76. We need to get n alone. We need to get rid of this 5.4 and this negative 5.1. Step 1, undo addition or subtraction. Again, do not get confused and think that we're undoing minus 5.1. This is a negative 5.1 that is right next to n. That's multiplication. First, we need to undo addition or subtraction. So we need to get rid of this 5.4. It's a positive 5.4, so we're going to subtract 5.4 from both sides. On the left, these cancel out, leaving us with negative 5.1n. And on the right, negative 53.76 minus 5.4 equals negative 59.16. Next thing we need to do is get rid of this negative 5.1, which is multiplying n. So to undo multiplication by negative 5.1, we're going to divide by negative 5.1. On the left, these cancel out, giving us n. And on the right, negative 59.16 divided by negative 5.1 is positive 11.6. And that's our answer. All right, I hope that this review helps you to prepare for your quiz. Good luck.